Mr. President, Vice President, and Mrs. DeVos, thank you for inviting my wife and I to be here today. I'm a little bit weak. I had surgery last week, so I'm kind of weak in voice and body. But 19 years ago, I went through what some of the folks here are going through now because my beautiful daughter, Rachel, was killed. And my son, Craig, was in the library that day. Two of his friends were murdered beside him. He lay there covered in their blood, looking down the barrel of two guns aimed at him, and he knew he was going to die. And a split second before Eric and Dylan pulled the trigger, the alarm system went off, and it distracted them, and they never came back to the table where Craig was at, or I would have lost two children that day at Columbine. So my heart goes out to you, sir, and to every one of you in this room that have experienced the trauma that you've gone through at Parkland. Our focus has been, my beautiful wife, the most beautiful lady in the room is right there in the blue and white blouse, Sandy. We started a program called Rachel's Challenge, and it was started a year after Rachel died. And we have worked with some wonderful partners over the last few years. We work closely with Chuck Norris and his wife Gina in a program they call Kickstart for Kids. We work with Cal Ripken Jr. and his brother Bill, and have created a program for athletes called The Uncommon Athlete, and it's based on something my daughter wrote in one of her diaries. We partner with Dr. Robert Marzano, who's one of the top K-12 researchers in the country, and a program called Why Try, All Dear Friends, and another program called Love and Logic, Dr. Jim Fay, one of the largest parenting programs. All of us combine our efforts together. Our organization has reached over 28 million students in the last 19 years, and we have seen 7 school shootings prevented. We see an average of 3 suicides prevented every single week of the year, over 150 a year. I have a little book with me that I'd like to leave with you. It's got letters from students. We don't edit them. These are emails from students who are planning to commit suicide. And we see 3 of those every single week, students that have changed their mind. And if you don't mind, I just want to share one simple principle with you that we've learned over the years as we've worked with millions and millions of young people. And it comes from something you said last week in your speech, and it was that we must create a culture of connectedness. We must create a culture in which our classmates become our friends. That's something we've learned how to do over the years. We have over 28 different programs, and we see children connect with one another. Every single one of these school shootings have been from young men who are disconnected. And we talk a lot about the mental health issues, but it actually goes deeper than that, because there's a lot of mentally ill children that are kind and compassionate. And so we work with those children every single day of the year, of the school year, but there's always the one with a propensity to violence. And so one of the things we have learned, and we train young people and we train teachers, that the focus must not be just on unity or diversity. Because if you focus too much on diversity, you create division. If you focus too much on unity, you'll create compromise. But if you focus on relatedness and how we can relate with one another, then you can celebrate the diversity and you can see the unity take place. I'm all for diversity, I'm all for unity, but the focus really needs to be on how can we connect. And that's something that we and our organizations have learned. One thing we have learned is how to connect students with each other, with themselves, with their teachers, and with their parents. And I would love to share more as we have a chance to do so. Thank you again for having us today.